Hi, this is your host, Dr. Agnes Cabredo, for another lesson on good English. From my observation, my experiences, from my interaction, from my attendance in seminars and forums, I have met people who complacently take to expressions which in the modern times have always been not correct. So, some of us who have been so used to using the terms but have heard it corrected by some other people, meet with some kind of embarrassment. Now, I don't want that these mistakes will cause you embarrassing moments, because sometimes the mistakes that you do are more important, are memorized, are remembered better than those better ones which you have said. So let's try to go into these very common casual expressions and try to get to the right choices. It's never too late to correct oneself, but it's always on time and in time. What you do now is going to improve you in the future, and that makes the difference. We have here commonly paired words, and we would like to make the fine distinction between or among them. Let's take, for instance, the three words here. The only difference is that we have one letter here, another letter, another letter. By one letter, these words give you different meanings. The first one is adapt. It means adjust. To adjust. For instance, you come from a temperate climate, from the tropical regions, and then you transferred to a certain country, to Alaska, where there is no sun but lots of rain, or there is no rain but lots of sun, or there is no rain and sun but lots of ice. Well, in order to live, to survive, you have to adjust. Maybe by putting on the proper attire and attitude will enable you to succumb, to surprise, to surmount all these difficulties. Now we have adapt. Well, if this is a verb, this one is an adjective. It means proficient. To be proficient is to be knowledgeable about a certain thing. So, one who has studied accounting is proficient in matters of counting or in matters of procedures in bank. So, you are proficient in the accounting service. Adopt is a verb. It means to follow. Okay? So, you follow the rules, you adopt it, and you follow the rules. Okay? So, very little hairline difference. Next, we have advance and advanced. Again, a difference of one letter, but the meaning is utterly different one from the other. Okay, so if we say advance, I gave an advance greeting to the celebrant on his 97th birthday. Advance. Or if I were an employee, I got an advance pay for the weekend to enable me to live on and buy my necessities. But this one, advanced, puts you in a certain level or position. Like you took advanced courses in statistics. Maybe to make you more comfortable, and you can make the jobs given to you, can make it with efficiency and effectiveness. So you get extra skills by taking advanced courses, advanced training, advanced statistics course, maybe to equip you for the job in statistics. Okay, next is baggage and luggage. Well, both of these are in the plural form. You don't have to add an S. No need to add an S. But this one is American and this one is British. Luggage. You can also use that figuratively. Like, I want to get rid of my mental or emotional baggage by going to an excursion or going to a place where I can relax. So, sleep not with your emotional baggage. Get rid of it in many ways. Write it. After writing your problems, put it in the trash bin. Okay, so get rid of your emotional baggage. Some people say, unfortunately, they consider a wife as a baggage. I hope not. Mothers are not baggage. Well, some men consider their wives baggage. Okay, so travel light, leave your wife, they say. I hope not many men do that. Okay? So they say marriage is a monotony if you have only one baggage. Let's see if you get many problems. What is a product of bigamy is a big baggage. Then you have biannual and biennial. So you have like twice a year you get a bonus. Mid-year and at the end of the year. Twice a year. Biannually. Biennial is once every 2 years. Now, if you have a boss and he calls you, you are the employee and the boss tells you, now, for your exemplary performance, I want to give you an award or a reward. So, when do you like your bonus? Biannual or biennial? Quick answer? Okay, I hope you think well about it because that will depend on you. Next, both and each. Some parking lots have no parking on both sides. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine dividing your car in halves, the first half in the other side and the other half in the other? Oh my God, that is unthinkable. So, parking lots should have a sign. Don't park on either side, not on both sides. Okay? So, each side is different from the other. Compare with and compare to. When we say with, we are comparing persons. When, for example, you say, the sales force, the salesmen of this company compared to those of the other company are far more excellent, are far more responsible, are far more aggressive than this set of salesmen. So, you compare one set of salesmen with those of the other company. Now, sometimes we compare persons to animals. Don't get offended. You only get offended when you don't know the meaning. For instance, here's a manager who is well known throughout the country for his success in the management, in the operations of his office. And one day, somebody praised him with, "This manager can be compared to the first-class hybrid horse." Oh my God, don't be offended. When a person is compared to a horse, it does not refer to his looks, but to his skills and special ability. So, be happy that you are compared to a horse with his power, with his speed, and with his blind obedience to his master. Okay? Then you have hand-delivered, hand-carried. Let's start right away by declaring this non-existent. Hand-carried is so popular, especially when we get on the plane. Then we think of pieces of baggage. We say, well, the company allows hand-carried baggages. Oh my God, what an error. This is redundant. Why, how do you carry baggage? Sit by the foot or by the hand? Knowing that it's by the hand, why still say it? So it becomes redundant. So you say hand baggage rather than hand carried baggage. Hand baggage are allowed when you get on the plane. So you're limited to 2 carry-ons. If you board the plane, you are entitled to 2 carry-ons or to 2 hand baggage. But we can also say hand-delivered when you say the baggage was hand-delivered to the boss. I am sending this to be hand-delivered to the manager of the company. Hand-delivered, remember, not hand-carried. So if you're referring to hand-carried baggage, you might as well say hand baggage or carry-on baggage. You are limited to 2 pieces of carry-ons. Then it's understood it's the baggage referred to. Then you have disinterested and uninterested. Disinterested is impartial. You don't take sides. It's unbiased. It is objective. Okay? So, sometimes you go to the lawyer and ask the lawyer, please help me come up with a document about my date of birth. They say, this is not my date of birth. It contradicts what my other paper says. So I would like you to make a document saying that or affirming that this is it. This is my right birth date. So your lawyer will tell you, please approach 2 disinterested persons, not your relatives who may have some interests in you, but who are non-partisan, who are impartial. Then they will sign the document that this is in fact and in truth, the real birth date that you have. These are not relatives, these are maybe neighbors, but you are not connected by consanguinity with that neighbor. So he comes up with an objective document. So he is impartial. You get it from a disinterested person. And what is uninterested? Uninterested means not interested. I have read that book 10 times. Now, I am uninterested in it because there are other materials I will enjoy. Okay? Now, we have here 3 words: effective, efficient, and effectual. Well, what's effective? It's a result which come out of a process. So, it is effective. You come up with a result, with an envisioned result. Effective. But when you come out of a result with the least cost, then it is efficient. Least cost. And what about effectual? You come out with not just any result, but the desired. What you wanted. Like coming up with teaching a process which will reduce cost. Okay? Cost production. Okay? So, effectual. Jewelry and scenery. Please accept these both as plural. So you don't have to say jewelries. Even if you see these in jewelry shops or in jewelry store, they say, oh, we have jewelries from Saudi. We have authentic pearls from Palawan. We have high-priced or highly valuable gold with so much carats. So you have jewelry is plural and sceneries. Before, what we knew is scenery. Well, it's still allowed, but times have changed. That's a lovely scenery. We can also say those are lovely sceneries. So, both scenery and sceneries, but the more modern is sceneries. Okay? We'll give you a second part. Let's go to the next. In search of. Sometimes we are tempted to use for. Yes, we are in search of the true value of this mineral. Not in search for. We are in search of. Routine, routinary. Correct English declares this to be the better one. Routine, not routinary. Okay? It's a routinary activity of nurses to do that once they get into their nurses station. So, what you're accustomed to do, you say, that's a routine we follow. Inasmuch as, and in so far as, this is spelled jointly. Okay? So, inasmuch as we would like to learn, we're going to spend longer hours in this particular subject. Insofar as our teachers are concerned, this particular session is declared educational, and therefore we have to study it further. Then one of the expression one of the is always followed by plural nouns. So our students will say, one of the teacher. No, one of the teachers, one of the schools, one of the trees, one of the cameras, one of the experts. Again. So this one is followed by one of the executives. Therefore, what's your verb? It should agree with this. One of the executives is recognized for his managerial skills. Is because it has to agree with one, not executives. One of the schools is open for more training in online teaching. Okay? One of the doctors is recognized for his expertise in oncology. Okay? So, one is the subject, for which we have to provide a singular subject to agree with it. However, sometimes we have a who. Personal pronoun who. One of the executives who have arrived early is from the farthest place. So, one of the executives who. This who refers to executives. Therefore, who has to take a plural verb because who refers to the plural executives. One of the executives who have. You don't agree with one, but with the executives. The who refers to executives. One of the executives who have promoted these materials has now been awarded. Okay? One is not one, but the executives who have. Okay? One of the schools which have promoted this particular program have now one of the schools which refers to schools. But if I say one of the staff who is our staff is a noun which is collective. Therefore, we have to provide a singular verb. One of the staff who is in charge of the secretariat is responsible for the printing of this resolution. So, it depends. If this is followed by plural noun, then you have a plural verb. But when we said one of the staff is collective noun, therefore, who has. Okay? Now here, most of the audience, look, what follows most is a collective noun. Okay? Therefore, you will say again, most of the audience is applauding. Most of the audience, collective noun. You take it as a whole. It is in its entirety. Therefore, is applauding. But if we say one of the viewers stood to raise his recognition of the speaker. One of the viewers or most of the viewers were pleased with a speech. Again, viewers is plural. This one is collective noun, taken singular. Therefore, viewers are plural. Now let's say stories. Both are in the plural form. It refers to levels in a building. Levels in a building. So, let's recall one of the tallest buildings in Makati, for instance, is how many stories? Maybe 300 stories? Okay, so it refers to stories. But this one is British. This one is American. But come to think of it, what about in your community? What is, or where do you find that building which has millions of stories? Do not think of a monumental building. We're only talking about the number of books in the library. So you have millions of stories. Let's make a distinction between stationary and stationary. When you are stationary, you don't move. So, unfortunately, many employees develop some kind of discomforts because the whole day, or almost the whole day, they are stationary. Okay? Not moving about. But when you say stationary, it refers to the paper where you have the address of the company. So, stationary is some kind of paper on which the company writes its communication to others. Okay? Which contains their logo and their address. Complete address. Then you have either or, neither nor. Now, we say either the nurse or the doctors are in the operating room. Okay, take note, there are two nouns. One, two. The second noun dictates the verb. Doctors, therefore, are. So, either or can have singular or plural. For example, we say either the students or the teacher are in the building complex. So your second noun is teacher. First noun is students. The second noun dictates your verb. Either the students or the teacher. Teacher is singular, therefore it dictates your verb. Is in the complex. Same with neither nor. Again, you have two nouns. Neither the author nor the reader can give up that particular volume. Neither the author nor the reader. The reader is the second noun. It dictates your verb. Okay? Neither the author nor the reader misses or miss reading that book. So, if it is student, author, or reader, misses. Reader, misses. Okay? But if you say either Either of them are responsible. When you say either, you mean only one. Therefore, either of them is responsible. When you say neither of them, you're referring to witnesses are present. Again, neither of them. When you say neither, none, no one. So, neither of them. There are two witnesses. Neither of them is, because you have none. When you say none, it is most of the time singular. Neither of them is present. Next we have appraise. What is appraise? It's a verb to evaluate. The government has an office which conducts appraisal of the qualifications of the heads of offices. Meaning, to evaluate. There is the civil service which constantly appraises the qualifications of heads of offices to determine whether they are progressing, making or upgrading, upscaling their qualifications, okay, or they are stationary. So, to appraise is to evaluate. Apprise is to inform. Notice there is the appraisal, usually appraise. You evaluate the assets. Here, there's a key, inform. Please apprise us of the developments of the project. Please inform us of the developments of the project. So, apprise. Class, this one is the same as this, except that the spelling differs. This is an S, which is US, and this is a Z, which is British. And they mean the same thing. So, the one is US, the other one is British. I think we can follow this up with many other common expressions next session. So if you learned something, please like, subscribe, and share our channel. Thank you for watching. Give us some comments if you have, or make suggestions as to what other topics might be of great interest to you. We will gladly yield to your wishes. As far as the topics that you want, whenever we are capable of giving it to you at our best, yes, we will please you. Okay? So, goodbye.